let's look into circles and the related terminologies. So the very first thing is your circumference, which is nothing but your perimeter, if not boundary. So the perimeter of the circle is your circumference. Center is a point generally represented with O, which is inside the circle, and the distance from this point to all the points on the circumference is fixed. It is constant and it is so for all the points. Next is on the circle. So what does on the circle mean? So on the circle mean this. So this is a circle and on the circle is nothing but points on the circle in this way. That is on the circumference of the circle. On the perimeter of the circle is your on the circle. Many people feel that this is on the circle. No, this space, this point, right, center is on the circle. No, this is inside the circle. This is outside the circle, and when we tell on the circle, it is on the circumference of the circle. This language has to be understood properly. So here the examples are example A, comma B. Here the example is outside is point D, and here the example is point O, right? So this difference has to be known. Next is chord of a circle. So chord is nothing but a line which starts at one end of the circumference and it goes to the other end. Even a diameter is a chord. It's the largest chord. Okay. So diameter is the largest chord. AB is the diameter and it's a chord. PQ is a chord. So these are your chord. Next is arc. Arc is nothing but the part of the circumference. A piece of the circle is your arc. So I had this entire circle. I cut it into two parts. So let me name the points. So it's the same point, just that I've put it in two different space. So say both the points are A and B. So this is point P and that's point Q. So we have something called as major arc. We have minor arc. Okay, so these are your arcs. So arcs are nothing but part of the circumference of the circle. Okay, so the major part of the, when you cut, you'll get one bigger and one smaller. The one which is bigger is called as major and one which is smaller is called as minor. So how do you represent it? Well, when we talk about major arcs, okay, so let me when we talk about major arc, so you represent it in this way. You write major arc and APB. You can do this, right? APB, or you can write it this way, APB and a topi like this, a hat like this. Okay, so this is a way of representing a major arc. While your minor arc, I'll write it over here. We represent it quite a few ways. You can just represent it this way, AB, that's a minor arc. You can represent it in AQB, right? AQB and a topi like this, or you can just name it arc AB. So by default, it is considered as minor arc. Okay, so these are the ways of representing an arc. Right, so let me just change it a bit, change the presentation. Okay, I think that would suffice. right? This is how you represent major arc as. Just write major arc and APB, or if not APB, you need to name the point on the circumference. So APB, okay, and an arc symbol. If not, write major arc and then APB. Okay, so we can also write this as minor arc and AB, if not just arc and AB. Again, there are ways out there which I would have not mentioned, but yes, these are the major ways. Next is a segment. Segment is nothing but part of the circle, obviously. But what part of the circle? I'll show it to you guys. Say I dropped a chord, something like this. It divides the circle into segments. That's your minor segment, and this is your major segment. So what exactly is segment? This space is your segment. This is your major segment, and this is your minor segment. Okay, so let's learn to name them. Say this is AB, and say this is P, and say this is Q. Right? So how do you represent it? So minor segment, you represent it by writing. Okay, let me use a different color. Let me use black itself. Minor segment APB. You just write it as a whole. That's it. Then major segment AQB. Okay, you make it very clear and you're done. So this is your representations. Okay, so that's your definition, and this is your representation. Right? So for a chord, you just tell PB. That's it. Line segment PB is your chord. Right? AB is your chord. So there's no fancy way of representing all of this. Like how you write diameter AB. So that's it. But yes, here the representation and everything is very specific. So I would like you guys to learn it properly. Next, a sector. Sector is a line. Sorry, not a line. The space inside the circle bounded by the radii, that is the two radius, and the arcs. So here too we have major and minor. So this is your minor sector, and this is your major sector. So this is your major sector, and that's your minor sector. And let us name this as Q. Now, what about the representation? Same way, you just write minor sector OAPB. OAPB. And you have major sector OAQB, right? OAQB. So this is how you represent sectors. Okay, so just see to that you guys remember all of this. And yes, I don't want you guys to miss anything. One small thing about how to remember sectors. So if this is how I remember sectors. See, sector has the word cake in it, that is C in it. This is our cake shape, is it not? This is how you cut a cake generally. So that's how you can remember sectors. So you can remember about the shape of sector as in the form of a cake. So this is a sector, this is a sector, this is a sector. So sectors are cake shape and segments are not. So that's how you can remember the different between a sector and a segment. I get confused. I look at the word sector, C, and I remember, okay, I have a cake over here. So yes, that's your sector, right? Then what else I want? That's it. Okay, I just want to correct this off. Okay, so we are done. Right, now it's your job to copy this off. Please don't miss anything. The language is important. Again, geometry becomes easy if you know the basics well, and the most basic things are your terminologies. So please do understand what do they mean and have an example in your books. So please see to that you draw neat and give examples as well.